Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Willams. I am the host of the Saturday Sports Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let us talk to you. Because today we got a lot to talk about this morning here on the Saturday Sports Show, live and dangerously local here in Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland. And we have we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and also on the Kick Network. We're also simulcasted on Pensman Sports and the Outlaw Network as well. And I also want to thank all of you out there for tuning in today. We have a lot to talk about today, including Tiger Woods involved in another car crash. We're also going to talk about the NCAA tournament. The UFL started their season last night, and what a dogfight this turned into between Birmingham and Louisville or Louisville or whatever. And I have a good joke to tell you about Louisville coming up later on. And also we're going to talk about defensive tackles in the NFL draft. What's available? Who do you think is going to be great? We'll go into NFL Buzz, top 12 defensive tackles. We've got some good ones out there, some big guys in the 330-pound range. But we'll get into that. Also, defensive ends and also some edge rushers are included in that list as well. So we got a lot to talk about this morning here on the Saturday Sports Show. Also, the start of the baseball season didn't look good for the Pirates. Paul Skeens, the Yankees played the Giants. I'm sure Pensman will tell us about that, and a whole lot more all coming up this morning here. Lots to talk about for your sports enjoyment here on the Saturday Sports Show. All right, good morning, Pensman. Welcome to the program. How are you? Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and what's going on.
I'm good. Duke's in the Elite Eight, both men and women. Yankees are 2-0. Life's good, right?
Yeah, I got egg on my face. I took St. John's.
You can find me on YouTube on that Pensman Sports and all social media on Pensman Sports. So,
yeah, Pensman. I got egg on my face again. So there you go. I bet against Duke, and every time I bet against Duke,
it was a fight. It was a fight, though.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It was a definite. St. John's with Rick Pitino, man. I thought they were actually going to take it, but that's the nature of the game. So, all right, Brian Pettit from the Outlaw Sports Network, new Outlaw Sports Network. Brian, how are you? Good morning and welcome to the show.
I'm doing very well. It's actually game day for Clemson University today. They're going to actually do their first spring game this year, and they'll probably shut it all down, but we'll see what happens. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'm doing pretty good. It's actually kind of cool down here. It's about 50-something degrees. The wind's blowing pretty hard, but, other than that, everything's going pretty good. You can find me on most media sites under Outlaw Sports. On X, it is still TS Media 25, and also when you check out the YouTube, all you gotta do is search in the it would be Change Ralph. It would be actually OSN dash TS Media. That'll be the new thing. But I'm not changing anything else, like the name and nothing, but
right.
Just how you can search it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's great. Good news for you, and congrats on your new network there.
Thank you.
And also, all right, this afternoon, please do not forget, mark this down here on your calendar or in your phone. This afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m., 12:50 a.m., The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, and TheAnswerPGH.com. The Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Willams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier. Luther Dupree. Claudio cannot join us because he had a scheduling obligation. So it'll be the three of us. We're going to dissect defensive tackles in the NFL draft, and we're also going to be talking about some other stuff as well. Also today on the show, we normally don't talk NBA, but we are today. They're talking about expanding, and they're going into Seattle. And let's talk about that right now, guys. They're going into Seattle and Las Vegas. Now, Vegas is becoming a sports mega hub because of the gambling. We all know that. They have a hockey team now. They have the Ratas. The A's are about to get their new stadium ready for next year. And it looks like now they may be on the block for an NBA team. They have a UFL soccer team, and I know that because the Riverhounds have played them. So start with you, Pensman. Go ahead. Your thoughts on the NBA expanding into Las Vegas. Oh, there's Leo.
No surprise that.
Excuse me, Penman. There's Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports. Leo, welcome. How are you?
Hey, I've been better, guys, but you know what? This is the most important hour of the day for me because I get to talk with three of the most hardworking journalists in sports.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome tomorrow, Leo. If you're interested, tomorrow night we debut our new show, the UFL Weekly. So if you're interested in coming on tomorrow, talk UFL football, 8:00 tomorrow night. So
I'll check my busy schedule.
I know you do have one, that's for sure. So, yeah. All right, Leo, you're with Amped Up Sports. Tell everybody what's going on. I know you've been busy with the basketball tournament and all that stuff like that, and then we'll get started with the show. We're just ready to get started. Talk about the NBA expansion. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, it's just been a crazy 2 weeks down here in Tampa. The Valspar was here, and Matt Fitzgerald won that with a birdie on the 18th. The first and second rounds were in Tampa, and the Florida-Iowa game, and Iowa's proven they're not just a one-trick pony. they're still in the dance. And the Lightning, they're in the midst of a 7-game home stretch. So I need to clone myself, guys, honestly.
Oh, you got that right. All right. Let's get started. Pensman, we'll start with you. NBA expansion, Las Vegas and Seattle. Go ahead.
No surprise about Las Vegas going NBA. They're trying to get bigger. They're trying to get the crowds out. So there's no surprise there. So let's see what happens with them. Hopefully they do good. As far I'm a Sixers fan, but NBA is kind of like, okay, I'm more of into college, but hopefully a lot of people go out to Las Vegas and watch the games.
Yeah, I talk about the NBA only when it involves stuff like this or marketing. Like I know last year we talked about how marketing was a problem for them and some other publicity things that go on in the NBA. Other than that, we don't really cover it here that much. Go ahead, Brian, your thoughts. Las Vegas and the Seattle area is expanding for the NBA.
Well, I think it'd be a good idea, for these two teams to come back. I mean, they could name the Seattle Supersonics, but I think they would need to change the name because I mean, for Seattle, it'd be a great name for them, but they need to come up with a new name for them. It would just sound funny just to call them the Supersonics, but there's a lot of names that they could actually use. And Las Vegas, they could come up with some names too, but this is going to get crowded in Vegas when they have basketball, football, and whatever else in there now. When it comes to the wintertime or whatever, when you have all this games going on at the same time and with the crowd.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Thank you, Brian. Go ahead, Leo. Your thoughts on this expansion with the NBA possibilities.
Brian, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. If you go out to Seattle, I would bet 90% of the people out there that want basketball to return want the Supersonics. They don't want to change the name. They are very happy with that. It brings back memories of that for them. And Las Vegas, boy, I'll tell you, it's starting to get real interesting real quick. With Vegas, what they're doing, they got hockey, they got football, they got basketball,
yeah.
And I don't think they'll ever get baseball, only because think of playing outdoors in Vegas in the summer. Oh my Lord, it would have to be a dome, and I don't know if that would play out in Vegas, but you know what? We're gonna find out when the A's move there, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're going to find out. Stadium's supposed to be ready by next year, I believe. So, All right, Mickey says hello. How are you, Mickey?
Crank up the AC.
Yeah. There you go. Hand out those, what they call them, wind fans or whatever. You know how you used to go to, to an indoor event or something, they give you a wind fan. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. They could have fan day, wind fan day.
Yeah.
I got a joke for Leo when it's time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Instead, the Tampa Bay Rays, they had the cowbells.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they can go like this at Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You got to hear my Tampa Bay joke about the Buccaneers. Why did Tony Dungy and John Gruden leave? Because at the time, Corn was a Buccaneer.
Ah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Well, at the time it was. All right. Let's get into this Tiger Woods thing. Got into another car accident, intoxicated. I get the picture, Tiger. I get it. You're one of my you're my favorite golfer other than Rory McIlroy. But when you do things like this, Tiger, this is the type of stuff that I despise. Why in the world would you even do it? Now, I get it. You're in pain. I'm in pain too. I'm in pain every day. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm in pain all the time. Just ask Mike here. He'll tell you. All right. But I'm in pain all the time. So, you know, Tiger, I don't do like you're doing. All right. Tiger, I get it. All right. But you know what? You got to grow up a little bit here, dude. And you got to do, you know, your reputation. You were just starting to get your reputation back. And now all of a sudden, here we go again. Leo, we'll start with you. Tiger Woods.
Let me give you a worst case scenario, guys. How about if he hit a little girl or a little boy?
Oh,
And again, we don't know. The good news is he blew zero, so he wasn't drunk. But he had to be on some kind of medication that was impairing him. And my thought is, if you're in that much pain, why are you behind the wheel?
yeah, that's exactly.
You've got to just get somebody. You know, it's not like you don't have the money to get a full-time driver. But bottom line, buy yourself a town car, buy yourself a driver, and stop worrying about this. Okay, Johnny, I'm going somewhere. Boom. Pick me up. End of story. But yeah, somebody said, does this tarnish his legacy? And no doubt about it.
Yes, exactly. Right.
You don't read about Jack Nicklaus or Arnold Palmer. Now, maybe they did and there was no social media, but guys, guess what? It's 2026. You go for a hamburger, somebody's going to have a phone out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Brian, go ahead.
Well, as we know, Tiger Woods, this is the second accident. You know, the first one was very close, and this one can be he just flipped it over. I mean, luckily he didn't blow zero, but some kind of thing could have happened in his mind. He could have been delirious. I mean, it just came in. I mean, he just got done playing golf what is it, Monday or something like that? Was it with the Top Golf and stuff? I mean, come on now. I mean, you were just now getting where everybody was starting to talk to you about. I think they were talking about him playing the Masters, but he didn't say nothing about it. But it's just funny how it's all around. I mean, you know, the Masters starts I think it's this week or next week, but it's time consuming, you know, it's taking a light off of something that's going to happen, you know, and now it's back on him again, you know?
Yeah. It's what's called a negative thing, Brian. And what I mean by that is that he had a lot of positives going into this tournament he was going to be involved in. And now here we go. He's back to this again. Pensman, go ahead.
After you get booked, after you get your lawyer, after you get paid, after you pay your stupid fine, like that's what celebrities do. Oh, he got arrested, but 24 hours he'll be out because he's a celebrity. And after you pay your money to get out of jail, you get out your jail card with Monopoly. Do yourself a favor. Ralph knows where I'm going with this. There's a movie on there called The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. Go get yourself a driver. Tell him to pick you up, and then that's it. Turn your driver's license in, and that's it. You can't drive anymore, boy.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And I even said that myself, Pensman. I think he needs to go out. Leo indicated, go out and get a driver. Go find somebody. I'm sure somebody out there would not mind working for Tiger Woods. If I lived in Florida, I'd probably work for him. You know what I mean? Because I used to be a cab driver, so I have no issues with driving somebody around.
Yeah, with all the celebrities you drove around.
Yeah, I did drive
Yeah,
some
you
great
did.
celebrities around.
Yeah, with all the celebrities you drove around at the airport.
Oh, yeah. Well, the best one of them all, I think, probably, I'd say probably Mike Webster, the late Mike Webster. And it was sad where I had to take him. It was sad, but it was done. And then Herb Brooks, the former Olympic coach, who coached for the Penguins. I took him to the airport too. Very nice guy. So, and Gary Sheffield's a cheapskate. I mean, I think I told you guys that story. I picked him up at a Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Pittsburgh, took him to a hotel. It was $4 on the meter, $4.60. Gave me $5, said keep the change. Yeah, thanks a lot, Gary. You know what I mean? You know, Greg Maddox, he was a jerk. I had Alan Faneca. I had some Steelers. I had Marc-Andre Fleury. You know, I've had a lot of celebrities in my cab, sports celebrities. You know, so I was on The Guardian, that show, The Guardian. I was in that. I had a little small role in that. So, you know, in that TV program, that lawyer show called The Guardian, I was in that. So I had a lucrative career driving a cab. If I could do it today, I probably would. I love it. It was a great job. I love driving a cab, but just can't do it anymore. So, you know, but I'm doing this, and this is a lot of fun. All right, UFL. Last night, Birmingham took on the the Louisville Kings. What a game this was. This was a dogfight, 15-13 final. Birmingham, not as powerful as they used to be with Skip Holtz, but they're still, you know, a good football team. Louisville's new team coming in. We'll get your starts on it first. Brian, go ahead. Last night's UFL game. Go ahead.
You know, at the end of the game, I thought they would go for 4 points. You know, that's the new rule. They can actually kick a field goal and go for 4 points. That would have been kind of interesting if they would have done that. But, you know, I just watched some of the highlights, didn't watch the whole game, but some of the plays, you get missed field goals, came in there. I heard the wind was really bad. But a lot of good offense from Birmingham last night, what I seen. Ross had a good game, a couple of the running backs. You know, the only thing that happened last night in that game was a fumble from the running back from the other team.
Yeah.
You know, going into the end zone. You can't do that, you know.
No.
So, yeah.
You beat yourself when you do that.
Yeah, we beat yourself when you go to the left side of the line and you just fumble right there, and, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, we got the okay. Oh, there we are. Okay. All right. I got that there, Pensman. Thank you for taking care of that. All right. Pensman, go ahead.
Yeah,
your thoughts on last night's game.
Matt Carroll. Yes, Matt Carroll.
Corral.
Showed up, played well, but there was a lot. Yeah, that's it. But he played really well. I thought he did good, so he showed off. But the Louisville's defense, the Birmingham, whatever, they played really good defense. They showed up.
Yeah,
but
Birmingham's always.
I thought they were going to go for 4-2, like Brian said. Yeah, but I was surprised. So
yeah, their coach
it was a good start to the season, though.
Yeah, Chris Redmond's our coach.
Yeah,
former quarterback.
It was a good start to the season, though. I liked it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Leo, go ahead.
The problem that the UFL is going to have is the same problem the NFL has. The first 3 or 4 games, it's almost like training camp because they haven't played a lot together. Well, we've got the same problem here. But the problem that the UFL has is they got to come out of the gate smoking. With the NFL, they got 18 weeks. So when you look at what's going on, they got to come out and they got to give people a product that they're going to look at, that they're going to watch. The one good thing is I don't care when you're playing. People will watch football, but it's got to be good football. That's the key.
Yeah, it has to be entertaining, like you said, and it has to be, you know what I mean, something that works out, you know. So, but anyway, yeah, AJ McCarron is the head coach at Birmingham. Chris Redmond coaches Louisville, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, AJ McCarron, former backup quarterback, played for the St. Louis Battlehawks for a little while. And so, you know, but yeah, Louisville's got Chris Redmond. So, you know, we'll see where all these guys go this year. You got we talked about this last week, Rick Neuheisel, is the head coach at Dallas. So there's a name Kevin Sumlin still at Houston. Anthony Beckett went to Orlando. Ricky Pearl with St. Louis. St. Louis is on their way, I believe, to probably having an expansion team in the NFL if it ever comes to that. The Battlehawks sell out all their games, and their attendance is sky high. So we'll see what happens there as we go. All right, guys, let's get into today's games in the UFL. And tomorrow we debut our new show, which I'm going to put up here right now. It's every Sunday night, 8 o'clock for the UFL season. UFL Weekly with me, Ralph Willams, Pensman Sports, and Brian Pettit. And also any guests of our choosing. I've already invited Leo. And so we'll see what happens tomorrow night. UFL Weekly, we go over all the games of the weekend and get you ready for all the stuff, the coverage of the UFL. The only broadcasting network here that's covering UFL like this online. I think it's us. So we're taking care of that as well. All right, let's get into today's schedule. All right, let's get into that. DC Defenders versus the Battlehawks, and that starts at noon. At 4 o'clock, you have Dallas and Houston, the Battle of Texas. That's going to be a very interesting football game. The Battle of Texas. Who's better in Texas? Like George Jones used to say, all my exes live in Texas. So there you go. All right, and then 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN in Orlando, the Columbus Aviators. And we all know who's the offensive coordinator for Columbus. It's Todd Haley, former Steeler offensive coordinator, coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, offensive coordinator down in with the Arizona Cardinals and several other places he's been. So he's their offensive coordinator of name. All right, guys, let's move on. NCAA basketball. Pensman, you're a happy camper. Your Duke team won again. Beat St. John's. I wanted St. John's the second time I bet against Duke, and I regretted it. So go ahead, Pensman. Your thoughts on NCAA tournament. Go ahead.
St. John's came to play. They pressured right from the start. I mean, right from the start. As soon as they scored, like every inbound, they pressured, but John Shire found a way to beat the pressure and pull away at the end. St. John's missed a couple good opportunities of shots, but Cameron Boozer with another good rebounding clutch moment. Sauer showed up. Evans showed up. So it was a good. I was pacing back and forth. I was up and down in my chair. I was walking back and forth. I was like, oh, come on. But Duke pulled it out. Michigan State lost last night. They played UConn tomorrow at 5:15. So we'll see what happens to that. Hopefully it's a second straight Final Four appearance, but it's not over until 40 minutes of tomorrow, please. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, your Michigan. It looks like your Michigan won 90-77. They beat Alabama. So.
Yeah, that was a dogfight in the first half, and then Alabama fell apart.
Oh yeah, Leo, go ahead. Your thoughts on the NCAA tournament?
I'll tell you what.
We'll go over today's games. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask Pensman. I mean, who put together Duke's bracket? My Lord,
I know.
What do they call it in soccer? The bracket from hell or the bracket of death, whatever. I mean.
Yeah, I told Ralph.
I got to go to Connecticut, and I'll tell you what. I look up and it's 24-6 against Michigan State. Now, granted, the Sparty got back in it, but I'm telling you, Duke may want to see another team, but they sure as heck don't want to see Connecticut next. And let's just call it what it is. Arizona is brutally tough. They don't shoot threes. They just put it inside on you. And believe me, this is going to be a heck of a Final Four. And do not fall asleep on Iowa. I mean,
no, you're right.
They slow the game down. They make you play defense. And boy, they are the most physical team on the floor. Period. End of story.
Yeah, happy birthday to Kasha there. Happy birthday. That's about as far as I'm going to sing. All right. Okay, Brian.
I told him I said maybe I said Brian White. I don't know.
No, not me singing. Not this early in the morning. No, but about to be in, about the NCAA tournament. This has been a wild, crazy brackets between everything. I'll go ahead and admit I took egg on my face, like Ralph said. I took Michigan State, because I thought they'd have a better team, but Arizona has been. I mean, the last couple of games they scored over 100 points, and they have a good offense, defense, whatever you want to call it, and they can shoot anywhere they want to. They just have They have 6 guys that actually can shoot the basketball.
Yeah, they haven't been good since Sean Miller.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and Duke, on the other hand,
coming around again.
Duke and UConn would be a heck of a matchup. So
it's
going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a dogfight. And the only concerns that I have about Duke is that game last night. Is that going to be one of their highlights of the thing? And can they pull it back out again? Because they were actually losing at the very beginning of it because, St. John's was all over them, And we've seen in the past, Duke struggles with big games like this,
Oh, yeah.
So could it be a turning point in the NCAA tournament?
They were down 10.
I got a question for you. Has Duke's point guard come back yet, or is he still on the IR?
Foster's back, if that's who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foster's back. Yeah, he's back. He came back last night.
Yeah. Looked a little rusty, but
it's his first game back. It's his first game back. He's recovered from an ankle injury.
Exactly. So he's
look at Odell Beckham Jr. How long it took.
Yeah,
he will. He's probably on the treadmill right now.
Yeah. The problem with Connecticut is they come at you like a tsunami. They just put in a different guy.
Yeah, they do.
And they come at you.
How about the old rivalry between UConn and Duke? Mike Krzyzewski and Duke's or UConn's old coach. I forget his name off the top of my head, but who remembers those days? Jimmy Calhoun. That's right. Who remembers those games?
There you go.
I do. I remember those games. So
South Florida was in the Big East.
Yeah.
With Connecticut, and Connecticut came in, and they were the biggest team I've ever seen. They had 7 guys, 6'10" to 7'1". I mean, they get up during a timeout, and they block the light. They were that big.
Yeah, John Thompson and Georgetown. Oh, those were the days, man. The Big East. Oh yeah. Those definitely were the days.
Hey, Ralph, I just want to add one more thing.
Go ahead.
Duke and LSU women played last night. Duke won at the buzzer, and then I think this is the first time that Duke's men and women played, and North Carolina women got eliminated last night. So that's more icing on the cake.
There you go.
Hey, but you got to watch it. But Pensman in that woman in that the NCAA tournament for the women, you got to watch out for South Carolina and UConn too.
UConn.
You better watch out for Don Staley.
Yeah, I know. I'm just happy that
UConn
or Duke made the Elite Eight.
School champions. UConn or Duke could be the school champions. Well, either one of the two.
Yeah.
And that would be interesting in both cities where these colleges are. Like Duke is in Durham. Durham would go bananas if both of those teams won. Man, they'd have a parade and everything for Duke. I mean, it would be crazy. Wouldn't it be interesting if the football team did something this year?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but when I filled out my women's bracket, I just put UCLA, Texas, South Carolina, and Connecticut. And I left the rest of it blank because that's how it's going to end up. Who cares about what's behind it?
Yeah.
That's what's going to end up. Now, I'll tell you what. I think Texas could win it all. They got in last year and got embarrassed here in Tampa. But let me tell you, at UCLA, same thing. UCLA is enormous for a girls' basketball team. My God, they're big. So it's not going to be a Connecticut cakewalk like everybody thinks. If those 4 get in, it will be a war just to get to the final 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get into today's games. Iowa, as Leo mentioned, versus Illinois, and I said Illinois was going to move on. They were one of my teams that I said was going to continue. Purdue and Arizona. We already talked about Arizona, how tough they are versus Purdue. And tomorrow, Tennessee versus Pennsman's Michigan tomorrow. That'll be interesting. And then also Duke versus UConn. What a bunch of great Elite Eight games we got going on here, guys. Pensman, we'll start with you for today and tomorrow's schedule, and then we'll move on. Go ahead.
I was going to win Illinois, and Arizona's going to crush Purdue. So,
all right, there we go. Brian, go ahead.
I think, like we just said, I think Arizona is gonna, let's see if they'll score another 100 points, but you can't stop that team. I mean, unless the field goal, the thing that's going to worry about me is free throws. It always comes down to free throws. Of what teams are going to do, because you can have a good night and be bad when you get fouled.
Oh, free throws, man! I remember Pitt used to lose a bunch of games because of free throws.
And that's where the percentage come in.
Jeez.
Because you can outshoot a team.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're not that good at free throws, So it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to momentum. It's going to come out who's going to, you could have in this time of day now with the Elite Eight, you can go up by as many as 10, and then in the second half, it can all go away in a split second, because now teams are going to be hyped. The crowd's going to get into it. And it's more nerve-wracking. Let's see how they can handle the pressure, because it's going to tighten the screws a little bit more. And also, I want to bring up this point, too. I heard on the radio yesterday, I think it was Kerry Parry or something like that, that he said that you don't have, let's see, what did he say? You don't have, like, the NIL. We always talk about the NIL, that you don't have the blue bloods no more in this tournament like you used to, because everybody is so equal now to the NIL deal, and they don't have the blue bloods no more. And that's what he said yesterday on one of the radio stations that I was listening to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Leo, go ahead. Your thoughts, this Elite Eight here.
Guys, I've been waiting for months to say this. Not so fast, my friends. When you look at these games, don't go to sleep on Illinois, and here's why. Wow. Guess how many free throws Houston shot the other night?
2.
Illinois doesn't foul you. For some reason, they play defense that the referees allow. If you can only go to the free throw line less than 10 times, what an advantage that is. And Illinois will play you hard. They'll play you tough. And that's going to be a very interesting game. And Purdue, they're not chopped liver. If the big kid doesn't foul out like he did the other night against Texas, if he can stay in the game, now they got a rim protector, because Arizona likes to play inside the arc, not outside the arc. So that's going to be, again, guys, 4 great games coming up. I see it all going down to the last minute, maybe the last possession, and possibly overtime.
And I gotta give credit where it's due to some of these favorite teams. There were no underdogs that made it this year. Miami of Ohio didn't do anything. I mean, or move on. We didn't have too many really big upsets. I mean, we had a few, but there wasn't that many this year. I mean, I've seen tournaments where some of these small teams, like when Gonzaga wasn't even really in existence, and came in and beat some teams and whatnot. And Wichita State, I remember when they were winning it, left and right for Hofstra and some of these other ones. But now, it seems like it's some of the favorite teams, some of the guys who are some of the teams that are doing this. All right.
And remember, Ralph, we're not too far away from when FIU, who Dusty May now went to Michigan, and San Diego State got to the Final Four, played each other in probably the greatest Final Four game ever.
Yeah, that was, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, so you don't fall asleep on these guys, because they got players.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to do something a little different here.
Ralph, hang on real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. On that Illinois and Iowa game, the point spread on the DraftKings right now is at 6.5, and that's in favor of the Fighting Illini. So
Yeah, Illinois has.
Illinois is a favorite on that one, but Duke and everybody else is like a 5-point favorite. So there you go. So that might intense a little bit, but some of these games, like you said, are going to be close.
I know Duke's. I know Duke's. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Duke's 5.5.
Yeah.
And you don't think Bobby Hurley has that plastered in his locker room? Hey guys, we're a 5.5-point dog.
Oh, you know it, man. You know it. Oh, you got that right, Bobby Hurley. Anyway, let's get started here. We're going to do something a little different today. We were supposed to have Ray Cruz on, who covers the Jacksonville Jaguars today, but he had an issue with something and couldn't be on. But we'll be back. We'll be on next Saturday. And I'm trying to get all these guys on for all 32 teams to talk about the NFL and what's going on with the draft. Now, Leo's here, and Leo covers the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So let's ask Leo, what is Tampa Bay up to for the draft and free agency this year? Go ahead, Leo.
Well, they lost two big pieces. Mike Evans is going to the 49ers, and Levante David retired this week. So those are big pieces they got to put back. But it's not like the end of the world. That receiver room is loaded with talent.
Yes.
You got Ibuka, you got McMillan, you got all sorts of talent there. And linebacker, they just signed Angeloni from Detroit, but the bottom line is they need an edge rusher desperately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And I'm starting to come to the realization that maybe that 3-4 isn't working well enough. Maybe they need to go to a 4-3 and actually have four guys put their hand in the dirt. Because, the nice thing about the 3-4 is you're going to rush four, but the offense doesn't know what four it's going to be. You know three, but you don't know who the fourth is. But offensively, they're in good shape. Defensively, they need a pass rush. Desperately need a pass rush. Look for them to either draft an edge rusher or look to make a trade to get an edge rusher. But that's the biggest need right now. And that receiver room is loaded. Chris Godwin in there, and
right.
He's coming off that ankle, and that ankle injury was a lot worse than everybody let on. So you got Godwin, you got Ibuka, you got McMillan. That's a three to draw to. And you got Tez Johnson, who just came out of nowhere. So they're pretty stacked there.
All right. Also, I just want to let everyone know that I'm going to have guests on this show and on the Sports Corner show on Tuesdays. We do a 2-hour special. I have coming up this Tuesday, Marcus McCollum coming on to talk about the Chicago Bears. And next week, I have Jerry White coming on to talk about the Buffalo Bills. Next week, I have Marcus McCollum coming on. He's going to talk about the Chicago Bears. He covers the Bears, and he has his own podcast and everything else. So we're going to have that going on as well. So I just want to let everyone know that also. And also, we're going to have guys come on both shows. I just picked Leo's brain in regards to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brian Pettit here. He covers the San Fran 49ers. What are they looking at, Brian, this year? So we can get San Fran out of the way here.
What do we need? I don't know what we need, but I think we're going to need the defensive line.
Okay.
I think that's where to me, looking back
There's
at
some good guys right here on this list I got that we're going to go over in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
here.
there's the thing that worries about me is the defensive side, because last year they were terrible, but they got some of the big boys now back in there. But still, you need younger guys to come in there and show what they got. But also they need corners. That's hurting them too from last year of the game. Other than that, the offense looks pretty stout. Maybe add a couple of offensive linemen, but that's pretty much what the 49ers need.
All right, Pensman and I both cover the Steelers, so we'll have two different opinions here. But go ahead, Pensman. You tell us what you think the Steelers should go in the NFL draft.
I think they need to work on their offensive line, especially if Aaron Rodgers comes back, he wants $32 million now. That's what I'm told. He wants a pay raise. So if they want to do that, they've got to protect the quarterback. And you saw what happened with the Houston Texans. They sacked him, and then all momentum shifted. So so that's why they need to get an offensive line. That offensive line's been hurt and struggling for the last couple of years. We've been winning games and getting in the playoffs, but that offensive line is old and getting weaker. And so
we've spent some draft picks.
Wide receivers too.
Montanu, and then we got Roger. I call him Bummer Jones because he stinks. And then we got the only two to me is Frazier and what's his face from North Dakota State. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Mason McCormick. Them two guys have been stout.
There it is.
I mean, they've really been good. Salamalu, he left for Arizona. He's been hurt. He's been a mash case. Can't help the club if you're in the tub. And and we got some backups and whatnot. We just signed that guy from Dallas. So we need to go into the draft, look at some offensive linemen, load up on the wide receivers. You have 12 picks, so load them up, get as many as you can, and get them in here. And I'm sure that after the draft is over, there's going to be some free agent wide receivers out there that we might be able to get. And we just got a special teamer, that Homer. We just signed him. He's a special teamer, a practice squad kind of player. We'll see what happens there with the Steelers and what they're going to do. And I hope they don't sign Aaron Rodgers to $32 million. I tell them, take a hike. You know what I mean? I mean, with or without him, I think we can win. We can win without him. We can win with him.
I don't know if that's a rumor or not, but that's why I just heard that he wants 32.
If he wants $32 million, you know where he can go. You know what I mean? I'm going to do an old
back in the dark room.
I'm going to do an old Joe Gordon thing. When Joe Gordon worked for Chuck Noll, and any time that some player wanted a lot of money, Joe Gordon would go like this, out. You know what I mean? Because the Steelers weren't going to pay you. He did that to Franco Harris. He did it to Lewis Lips. Out. He would put his thumb up and just go like this. Out. See you later.
Ralph, remember, back then,
you didn't have the cap and all that. Yeah.
But they had no cap and they had players. I mean, that roster may have been the greatest roster ever to be assembled in the NFL. Right now, the Steelers, if you don't put in Aaron Rodgers, you're looking at a 7-11 season. I'm sorry. I don't see any way somebody comes in there unless they got a plan B in place. But, man, oh, man. And, guys, I want to throw this out. Ty Simpson, he's moving up the draft board. I just want somebody to go watch the Alabama USF film when he was a sophomore. He looked like he didn't even belong. I mean, dear God, he had probably the worst game I've ever seen a quarterback play because, Saban decided to sit down the starter for whatever reason. Simpson came in, and I think the game ended up 10-3, Alabama. And they had to score late to win it. But if I'm a general manager, I want that tape. I want to see what he did then and what he's doing now, because that's probably what you're looking at in the pros, doing college to pros. That's going to be his first season.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, Leo? You make a good point there. People see Ty Simpson, he plays for Alabama. Am I right? He plays for Alabama, correct? Okay. Yeah. So, he plays for Alabama.
He did.
They don't look at at his record, like Leo said. He had that bad game against USF. They don't look at his statistics. They don't look at any of that stuff. He plays for Alabama. I think I'm going to take him in the first round. I think I'm going to start him. No, you can't do that. All right. You gotta look at Broderick Jones. We drafted him in the first round. That guy only played 6 games in his senior year. He didn't play no more than that. So, and that's the type of stuff that you can get burned with if you look at it just because of the call or the university they go to or they play for.
J.J. McCarthy story right there.
Right there. Exactly, Leo. You make a good point on this whole thing. When
you're playing for the best team with the best players, you're going to look good.
Right.
But now, if you're going to get drafted high, I mean, Mendoza's going 1, and I do not disagree with that. But the best thing they can do, and if Tom Brady and the Raiders are smart, and John Spycheck, they'll look back and say, what does Mahomes and Rodgers and Brady all have in common? They sat and watched the game. They
And
saw
Jordan Love, he watched the game. He sat around for 5 years or 4 years or whatever. He watched the game.
Yeah.
You know.
See, these guys that are coming in right away. I mean, Caleb Williams. I mean,
Richardson in Indianapolis, Leo, he stunk up the joint. Richardson.
Oh,
you know?
God. He only had like 10 games. That was the dumbest draft ever, was this guy. But when you look at what's going on, you throw a guy in right away, you're going to do more harm than good. I mean, Caleb Williams, his second year, I mean, Ben Johnson had to de-teach more than he had to teach because he was in so many bad habits.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, we're checking out here. We have a email here. Mark in Australia. Mark,
Hello,
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, Mark. He says, guys, you guys put on a really good, diverse show today and every day. And I appreciate you being on Saturday mornings. I'm up and at it here just to watch or listen to your show or watch it. And I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. Also, Jill from UK checking in as well.
Let me give Mark a good day, mate.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. We got our Alaska crowd here too. Rob, Sarah, Timmy, Eden. We also got Paul from McGrath, and we also got Tim, another Tim here. He's from Anchorage. So there you go. We got the Alaska crew tuning in.
And let me give you guys the trivia question of the day. What is Australia's biggest export right now? Collegiate punters.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Australian rules football. That's right, Leo. I forgot about Australian rules football.
Yeah, they
All right. Okay, guys, let's take a look at defensive linemen for this year's NFL draft. San Fran needs defensive linemen. So does the Buccaneers. And I want to thank you guys because guess what you guys have just done? You saved me a whole lot of time trying to find somebody to come on and talk about both teams. So there we are. So that worked. All right. Okay, NFL buzz. All right, here we go. Draft buzz. Now, they have removed, there was another guy that was number 1 here. They removed him down, and now they got Reuben Bain Jr. at number 1 for Miami. 6'2", 263, defensive end edge rusher. Start with you, Leo. Go ahead.
Oh, he can play. And again, when Indiana and Miami met in the final, everybody said, well, Indiana plays bully ball. I said, guess what? You're going to play bully ball against the team that invented it, and that's Miami. And Bain, he is a phenomenal physical specimen. He is big, he is fast, he is strong, and he is mean. He will come get you. That's a perfect fit for a team that needs an edge rusher. In fact, he's probably big enough he could play down inside every now and then. But I'll tell you what, you put him out, put his hand in the dirt, he's coming with a purpose.
Okay, I went over this list on the Sports Corner radio show. We'll be talking about it today. But Clemson has 2 guys in here, Brian, and I want you to tell everyone about them. T.J. Parker, and also we got Peter Woods. I hear Woods is very good. Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host, 40-year vet at scouting. He said Peter Woods is really good. Not much said about T.J. Parker, but go ahead, Brian. You cover this.
The only thing that I would worry about with both of those guys is like what I've seen from Parker and all that is they're kind of like they're slow getting off the lines though, but they're very fast. They only have like one style, I think. But I mean, these 2 guys can actually be really good if you put them in the right spot, as we've seen most of the times with Clemson. If you go look at the tape, you've seen a lot of little problems. Also, they've been prone to injuries, when they're being, this year. So we'll see what they got,
Brian, you bring up a great point. The biggest problem right now with the NFL, and you're talking about defensive linemen and rushers, is they're one-trick ponies.
Yeah.
Not because they want to be, but because they can be. Those guys on the edge, they're speed rushers. They're just going to try to beat the tackle. And, the NFL is lamenting, there's my SAT word of the day, guys. They're lamenting the fact that these guys aren't coming in with multi-moves, and that's because they don't have to have them. We're seeing guys that are just beating people. We're seeing guys that are just bull rushing people. It's a problem in the NFL, but it's not a problem in college.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, Pensman, your thoughts on a few of these linemen here. First of all, I want to go over this one from Ohio State. You should know a little bit about him playing Michigan. This Kalen McDonald, 326, 6'2", perfect defensive tackle for the Steelers. I don't know if he could play in the 3-4 kind of a setup, but what do you think?
He'll be perfect for the Steelers, and plus Jack Sawyer is with the Steelers, so he can be his big brother and mentor. What the Steelers are. They'll be perfect. I was going to say about Bain that Bain would be perfect for the 49ers. That's why I'm pointing at Brian because
I know.
Defensive line.
If they need defensive help so bad, Leo said Tampa Bay needs it too. So if they need help, and of course the Steelers need. They went out last year, got Derek Harmon, Y.A. Black. Them guys have done a really good job this year. But let me say this: you always can use defensive linemen. The lines of scrimmage are your most important part of football, and Leo knows that. He was a coach. All right, so
guys, I'm gonna tell you, when I first got into scouting back in the 1980s, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Carmen Perone. He was the head scout with the New Orleans Saints. He coached at Cornell, and he came on with us with our lads. And I said, Carmen, I'm scouting. What do I need to take into consideration? He said, you work from the ball out. Offensive lineman, quarterback, moving back. Defensive lineman, linebacker. The closer to the ball, the more important they are. You don't win games if you don't win in the trenches, guys. We know that.
Oh, yeah, and if you don't know that, then you're not watching football right. So all right, guys, let's go.
Or they're watching they're watching the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to go into a few other names here, and then we're going to wrap it up here because time is of the essence here. All right, Kedrick Falk from I believe he's from Auburn. Auburn always has some pretty good players. He's 6'6", 276, a little small for defensive tackle. But let's see who else we got here. We already talked about Peter Woods, McDonald, Parker. All right, here we go. How about Cassius Howell? This guy's from Texas A&M. Anybody that plays for Mike Elko, I don't have a problem with on defense. Leo, your thoughts on this guy?
You play for Mike Elko, you better be tough and you better be agile, mobile, and hostile. That pretty much explains this guy.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right, guys, let's move on here. We're going to get into, let's see here, Mason Thomas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma don't come out. They come out with some pretty good guys on defense. This guy's an edge rusher, defensive end. Maybe he can play for Tampa. 6'2", 241, a little small, but we'll deal with it from there. Go ahead, Pensman. What do you think about this guy from Oklahoma?
He's kind of small. That kind of scares me. But if
he's
he can
rated
play,
number 8,
why not?
number 7.
Yeah, I know, but that shortness scares me. But if he can get a past the line of scrimmage and tackle, that's good.
Brian,
that's the only thing that scares me.
Well, I was going to read some of his. I was going to read some of his things. Some of his, and listen to this one. This is kind of interesting, and Leo, this will surprise you. His strengths, explosive. The first step off the snap creates intense stress on the tackles before their hands are even set. So just take that in mind. Did something about his weakness? Undersized frame at 249 pounds, below average arm length, invades bigger blockers, and locks into the chest and smoother arms. That was some of his weaknesses. This is one of his weaknesses, and then one of his strengths. So, you can see that. But yeah, but he runs a 4. I know everybody doesn't talk about speed, but he's pretty quick at 4. I mean, 4.6. I mean, what was it? 4.6. So that's pretty. But he's kind of small, but they'll like when you get in the NFL after college and everything, they'll build you up. So he'll get a little bit more poundage on him and muscle mass, So
here's the guy I like. Leo, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this? And I'll tell you the guy I like. I think the Steelers should take.
Let me throw this out at you guys, and I know I'm a dinosaur with this. 40 years ago, 4.6 was a defensive back, and that was considered fast.
Right.
Now, if you're not running 4.6, 4.7, 4.8 as a defensive lineman, you can't play. I mean, it's to a point now where if you run a 4.9 or higher, you better look on offense as an offensive lineman, because right now what's the 2 things you can't coach, guys? Size and speed.
And speed, yeah. Well, here's a guy that ran a 5.04 in the 40, but I like him. Khalid Banks of Florida, 6'6", 327. He's got a good reach. I think he'd be a really good nose tackle for the Steelers. Steelers need to get Keanu Benton out of that position, put him back on defensive tackle or defensive end, and move and get a linebacker. They had a chance to get Travis Jones. I told them to draft Travis Jones. They did not. He went to the Ravens, and look what he's doing there. He's done a pretty good job there. And then they should have re-signed Javon Hargrove. They had an opportunity. They blew it. And now he went to Green Bay. So, again, the Steelers need to get a pure nose tackle, somebody who can really play that position and move Keanu Benton back to his original position, because he's not good at nose tackle. He really isn't. He stinks. So, all right, guys, let's close up with our local. We'll start with you, Leo. What's going on in Tampa Bay? Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, and we're getting ready to wrap it up. Final thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, we got a BOGO weekend here with hockey. You got Tampa Bay. They're going to be home Saturday and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, we get to meet the new women's basketball coach, the former coach at Alabama, and the new men's coach, the former coach at Charleston. And he used to be in Louisville, and Xavier.
Wow.
So, Chris, it's going to be an interesting conversation because, guys, I'll tell you what, I may get thrown out of this press conference, but the first question I'm going to ask both of them is, when your coach leaves, your players can immediately go in the portal and move with no penalty. Do you have anybody willing to still stay? I want to see if I get an answer. That'll be it.
And Leo, I hope you get to stay in that press conference, because that would be a very good question though for everybody. So
I don't think people realize that.
No, exactly, like you said.
And you know what the second question is going to be? Who are you bringing with you?
Yeah, exactly. As a coach,
because once they leave Alabama and Charleston, they can bring their whole team with them. So we need, Ralph. We need to one Saturday just devote a show to how screwed up the NCAA is.
Hey, Leo, and the fact of that thing is,
we can do that.
Hey, Leo, let's just say this. If you're a basketball coach and I hired you from another team, I could bring and whoever else can leave that time. I could bring half of my team, half of your team, and we can make a different squad and have a heck of a run, for that.
Absolutely.
That's
what you need.
That's all you need is just bring your assistants. Just like Clemson had a new assistant. I don't know where he came from, but they just hired 2 new coaches for their coaching staff. They could have, wherever they're from, they can do, they could bring up some other players,
Yeah. And you know what, Brian, real quick, the Clemson center that got hurt, they really missed him against Iowa.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Which was a shame.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank Miles here. He says, hi, I'm Miles. Welcome, Miles. I hope everyone is doing well and have a good day. I'll throw you a like. Appreciate it. Thank you, Miles. All right. And everyone else on here, Pensman, thank you for your job as monitoring. Stick to the topic here. If not, don't comment. Please stay off the air. So, and I'm glad I got Pensman monitoring, nipping this in the butt. All right, Pensman, go ahead. Your final, or I'm sorry, Brian, go ahead. Your final thoughts and how everybody can get a hold of you and talk about your new network. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a new Leo. I haven't noticed. I got me a new network now. It's the Outlaw Sports Network, but there's actually another one on here. So just look for my logo. Later on, when you type it in, just type in at the out sign. Just type in Outlaw Sports Network 1, and then that's how you can find me. And then tomorrow, I'm going to change it to OSN dash TSM, which would be Outlaw Sports Network and the Tiger Stripes Media. So I'm still with Tiger Stripes Media on that one. So I'm going to be doing both of the logos on that station. So I just kind of incorporated. I've had Tiger Stripes Media for about 7 years. So it's time to upgrade my logo and kind of do a different thing, that I'm doing. So, and everything else you can find me actually on iHeartRadio, all that with the Outlaw Sports Network. So all that media stuff. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right, Pensman Sports. Go ahead, Pensman.
I'm going to do one local segment, and then I'm going to go and do my closing. But the Penguins got 88 points. They won a shootout. They won 2 shootouts in the last couple of weeks, which is surprising. Crosby got hurt again, hurt his other leg that he hurt from the Olympics, so he's hurt again. So I don't know how long he's going to be on the shelf, as WWE says, but they're sitting at 88 points. We'll see what happens. April 14th is the final of the regular season. We'll see if we can clinch a playoff berth and see if we can go in the playoff run. Leo, I know he's happy about Tampa Bay Lightning because they got a little winning streak going. They're at the 90s.
They're always in it. They're always in it.
Yeah, but you can find me on Pensman Sports Network as well. That you can find me on all social media. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. The Yankees are 2-0. They're going for the series sweep tonight against the San Francisco Giants. Home opener is Monday against Seattle Mariners. That game's at 9:30 on Monday, so probably won't be covering that game, but we've got some good stuff coming. We got the closing of the Penguins Yankees coming up, so just subscribe. You'll enjoy everything you'll see.
All right, I'm going to add some of the. You can get a hold of me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and also on the Kick Network. I'm also on my social media platforms, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, Tumblr. I'm also on Facebook, YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate it. If you like and subscribe to everybody, check out everybody's content. Leo is on Amped Up Sports' Facebook page, and I understand there's some things coming up this year with Amped Up Sports. They're going to get better and bigger. So, and I would love to be a part of that. And, this show will be uploaded onto Amped Up Sports' Facebook page, Fan First Sports Network, and Draft Nation. So I just want to let everyone know. And Brian will be uploading stuff on to some other platforms as well. So you can catch this show all across the board, everywhere on different platforms as well. All right, let me get into some announcements here. And RW Media Productions has expanded yet again. And the Ralph Willams Show is now on its 3rd media outlet. All right, and here we are. You guys ready? Starting next Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., the Ralph Willams Show down here in the Delmarva area, 93.5 The Beach, 50,000 watts power. And I can't wait to bring my show to the Delmarva area and across the board, the corner of Pennsylvania near Philadelphia. And also don't forget to tune in to my show Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. on Philadelphia's WWDB. That's the 9th. The Philadelphia is rated number 9 in media outlets across the country. And here it is. This morning and every single Saturday and Sunday, the Ralph Willams Show on 1250 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial in Pittsburgh, and also on the Answer PGH.com. We had a lot to talk about this morning, but tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., my co-host was with me. He's back, Tony Moreno. He had to take a couple weeks off. He was on a trip, and here it is. Don't forget Tuesday Sports Corner show. We have, don't forget this afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m., Sports Corner radio show on 1250 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. It'll be myself, Ralph Williams, along with Luther Dupree, Smoking, Jim Frazier. Claudio had other commitments, could not be part of the show today, but don't worry. We got a lot to talk about this afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m. on 1250 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial, theanswerpgh.com. Please call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, get them here. And also don't forget tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m., the debut of the UFL Weekly Show. We will break down the UFL's opening weekend. It'll be me, Pensman Sports, possibly Brian Pettit's 50-50. And Leo, you're invited to join in if you'd like. Just let me know and I'll send you an invite. So, all right. But anyway, there we are. UFL Weekly. Join me, myself, Pensman, and also join Brian every Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. on our social media platforms. All right. I'm Ralph Williams. This has been the Saturday Sports Show. Thank you for watching. And until next week, have yourself a great, safe week. And please, by all means, be safe. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. And please like and subscribe. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.